Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Robert Adams, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Chief Petty Officer Brianna Murray. As always, we welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of Carina State School visiting from Carindale in Queensland. Australia's Federation Guard is the tri-service ceremonial unit of the Australian Defence Force. They provide a ceremonial presence at civil and military events and during visits to Australia by foreign dignitaries. The Guard will now dismount the catafalque party from the tomb of the unknown Australian soldier.
Catafalque party, slow! Catafalque party, halt! Catafalque party, present arms! Catafalque party, reverse! Catafalque party, rest on!
If you are able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Catafalque party, attention! Catafalque party, present arms!
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We
Catafalque Party, order! Arms!
Students and visitors who are able to do so, you may now be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read a story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us during war and on operations over more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private Charles Howard Proctor. Charles Proctor, known by his middle name Howard, was born in 1891, the fourth son of Elizabeth and Richard Proctor of Maitland, New South Wales. His father worked at a property in Bulwarra and was the secretary of the Fruit Growers Association. Howard was educated at the East Maitland High School and was studying for his surveyor's licence at the same time. He played rugby and was active in the West Maitland Congregational Church. Howard Proctor tried to enlist shortly after the outbreak of war in August 1914, but was turned down for some slight dental defects. He tried again in September and was accepted. He was posted to the 2nd Battalion and left Australia on the troop ship Suffolk in October 1914. The 2nd Battalion was first sent to Egypt to continue its training. In early April 1915, the 2nd Battalion travelled to the island of Lemnos to train for the landing on Gallipoli. The battalion landed at the Anzac Cove as part of the 2nd and 3rd waves on the morning of the 25th of April 1915, having heard the gunfire of the covering party's landing. Another member of the 2nd Battalion, Private Toms, later described how New Zealanders and Australians simply went with the first officers they saw. The Navy men say that they have never seen the like, the ways that the Australians charged the hills. Private Howard Proctor did not make it back to the beach when the 2nd Battalion reorganised some days later. It took some time to determine his fate, and before his family could receive such news, Howard's younger brother, James, had left for the front. In late June, a letter was received in Australia from Gordon Chant, another member of the 2nd Battalion from Maitland. He wrote that on the day of the landing, Howard Proctor was hit in the spine by a shrapnel bullet. A chap in our company was with him for a little while after he was hit. Howard told him that he was done and gave him his field glasses to send his mother. After arriving in Egypt, James Proctor visited hospitals, going around the wards to ask if anyone had news of his brother. He later wrote, "Some guiding angel must have led me to the man. He had known Howard and spoken to him on the boat early on the morning of the attack, and he himself helped bury Howard's body. And strange to say, used part of his kit afterwards. I was a good deal affected and foolishly forgot to ask if he had had any." James added, "You can well understand how thankful I was to have found this man. He was able to assure me that Howard had not lingered in pain, that he had been buried with all the honours possible. His grave marked with a wooden cross, inscribed with his name. I came away from the hospital with a brighter outlook than I had had for many a long day." Howard Proctor's grave was lost during the Long Campaign, and today he is commemorated on the Lone Pine Memorial among the names of nearly 5,000 men with no known grave or who were buried at sea. Howard Proctor was 23 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the Pool of Reflection. This is one but many of the stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Charles Howard Proctor, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the ode and the sounding of the last post.
Catapult party, shoulder, arms.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Catapult party, present, arms. Catapult party, shoulder, arms.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Catapult party in words, turn. Catapult party, quick, march.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.